business owner, you have a lot of projects, and no one has an unlimited budget or time. Sunbelt Rentals makes all jobs less stressful with no need to purchase large equipment or hire a crew. You can do it yourself with rentals and everything from aerators and power rakes for spring yard work to stump grinders, concrete mixers, tile saws, and more. Check out their inventory in Lincoln, north of Cornhusker Highway on 56th Street, or online at sunbeltrentals.com. Nebco is hiring CDL drivers for ready-mixed concrete, Husker Concrete, and Beatrice Concrete. Nebco offers great pay, medical and retirement benefits, paid time off, and they pay for CDL training. Apply today and start your new career with a $2,500 hiring bonus. From Nebco's beginning in 1908, it's the employees that have formed the company's solid foundation. Start your career today. Visit nebcoinc.com. That's NEBCOINC.com.
Hello, this is Mary Pat Waite. I've had the privilege of working with Lincoln families as their realtor for more than 31 years, and I'm so proud to be associated with MP Dodge Real Estate. For me, your transaction is unique in its own way. My experience allows me to bring you trusted care and a really great outcome. My NP Dodge family shares the same client focus.
Expand your career with NP Dodge. Call Eric at 402-434-2222.
At Action Plumbing, Heating, AC, and Electrical, we're ready, reliable, and recommended. Water heater acting up or your sump pump on the fritz? Call Action. Summer's around the corner. Is your AC working? Are you sure? Call Action. Electrical problems? I'm telling you, call Action. Call Action for a free same-day estimate or a trusted second opinion. You heard that right, a free same-day estimate. 402-423-6960. ActionLincoln.com.
93.7 The Ticket. Fox KFXL weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
The Lincoln forecast for today, we'll see lots of sunshine and it will be breezy and cool with an afternoon high around 56. Tonight, clear skies and it will be cold, the low around 29. And tomorrow, frost likely in the morning and sunny and breezy for today. We'll see a high around 64. I'm meteorologist Kyle Becker for 93.7 Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Hi, it's Joel Norman, the voice of your Lincoln Stars hockey team. Tune in to 93.7 The Ticket to hear the latest on the Stars with myself, head coach Rocky Russo, and special player guests.
The captain, Vershawn Jackson.
The spitting incident.
Oh, the spitting incident.
How bad was that? And do he deserve to miss more games?
I think it's despicable to spit on another human being.
Lucky this guy had a shield on his face. What happened? The guy from Oregon, the receiver.
Yeah, receiver.
Spit in the guy's face from Ohio State. Why did he do that?
Man, you don't spit on the guy.
Back and forth.
You don't spit on the guy. I would never do that. Again. I said again.
I was going to ask you about that from one spitter to another spitter.
Oh, no, come on, guys. Listen, guys.
Years ago.
27 years ago.
Yeah.
Guys, don't hold that against me.
Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America. This is the Don't Punt Hour with former Nebraska receiver.
Throwing over the middle, completes the pass. He's got speed to the end zone. Touchdown. 45 yards.
And return specialist.
This time he beats the kicker in one more.
DeMornay Pierson-El.
Not only does the sideline have confidence in Pierson-El, but Pierson-El has confidence in Pierson-El.
On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right, welcome into the Dump Punt Hour. Harrison Arns on the ones and twos. I'm looking at the title right there. Shout out Ethan Petrick. It's Davante. Not spelled correctly. We'll have to fix that as soon as we get to a break here. Yeah, it's not D-E, D-A. But that is the news of the day. DeMornay Pierson-El, the former Raider himself. I just want to get your scenario. Davante Adams, the hamstring injury. I'm not really worried about that. Sounds like he's going to be ready to go for the Jets already on Sunday. But just give me your thoughts. Davante Adams reuniting with Aaron Rodgers, heading over to the Green Bay Packers.
I think Beetlejuice said it the best. It's showtime. This is what he's wanted. He was an all-pro with him. He was an all-pro without him. a very, similar offense of what he was back in Green Bay. They have the pieces there. I mean, who you going to double team? You got Garrett over there. You got a nice tight end. You got Lazard. I mean, I don't think he's going to get doubled at all, but
no, but it's a nice option out there, especially the way Mike Williams played. It feels good, probably get him up there.
And I mean, you got two healthy running backs, so it. Like I said, it's going to be exciting to see. Like I said, I mean, I'm not mad about it. It's business. I mean, the hamstring thing. I mean, I'm pretty sure that they're like, look, we're not, gonna play or anything like that. I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah, I mean, how much does this move the needle for the Jets? They get rid of Saleh. The offense still, hasn't looked great by any means. Like, is this?
I mean, but would you say that their offense looked terrible last night?
No, I wouldn't say it looked terrible. I just wonder, is this enough to move the needle?
They still went toe-to-toe with the Bills. So, I mean, if you say the Jets look terrible, then what did the Bills look like?
I never said terrible. Easy now. I just said it hasn't been consistently good. Maybe yesterday was the game where things are changing in the right direction. You also get a Hail Mary at the end of the first half. That definitely helps for the numbers and the stats. I mean, is this going to fix it consistently, though, to the point where he's got another guy he can trust out there?
I think with this patch-up, with this Band-Aid, or, extra shot of adrenaline, I think they can get back on track to what people thought they were going to be like.
Okay, fair enough. How do you see the Jets finishing in that division with that addition, knowing it's kind of been a little bit of a slow start for them?
I'm excited to see them go to Buffalo. I mean, the A-Rod has played in snow. Davante has played in snow. Alan Lazard has played in snow. So, I mean, the running back, they both played in snow or played in cold temperatures or whatnot. So, I mean, the defense has been solid. That's not an issue. So, like I said, lights, camera, action. Like I said, give it maybe a week or two just to kind of like get things settled and whatnot. He'll have packages. He'll have stuff in and everything like that. I mean, it's not, anything outrageous or whatnot. He spent time with Green Bay. It's the same offense. So, I mean, it's just kind of, oh, yeah, I remember we called that, or you know what I mean? So, I expect more consistency, more consistent wide receiver play, and not just, from maybe Lazard or just, from Garrett. I mean, Mike has been a little bit inconsistent and honestly a letdown since leaving, the Chargers. But I think they got him at the Z receiver instead of, and he's typically, the X receiver. So, we'll see how things go. Like I said, it looks, they're trending up. They played better this week. They were in a close game, and the two missed field goals. I mean, what can you expect? You should have walked out of there with a win, but a win isn't a win until all 4 zeros are up there and your team has more points.
Absolutely. And just looking at what the Jets got, obviously their best odds here are going to be when they do get into some more of their division play. Because you look at who's around them with the Dolphins, like with no Tua, they're not nearly as throw. They got great weapons. If they can find a QB, they'll go ahead and get their guys. They'll be all right. And I feel like we see this more and more in the NFL is why it's important to go ahead and have a great backup QB ready to go for you. Because right now you're looking at the Dolphins, feels like all hope is pretty much lost. The Patriots don't really strike a threat. Drake may, maybe he gets you excited. It looks like the QB class for rookies is looking all right, but again, I don't think he's enough to really stir the drink there. New York Jets, I think they'll probably find a way to finish second, especially as they get into more division play. Enough to kind of build back and get the wild card. I mean, I see what you're saying. I think Adams can plug and play right away, but I don't know how quickly.
The AFC is deep.
Yeah,
that's the part AFC is really, really deep. They have a huge mountain to climb to at least get to the wild card. You would need to finish second, in your own league, and a couple other things to happen or whatnot. You got 3 teams in the AFC North that are just as good in playoff teams. Baltimore, regardless of what people say with Cincinnati, I think Cincinnati can turn it around on the defensive side of things. And you got Pittsburgh. So I mean, that's not an easy, that's not something easy to come back from. You got, the Texans, they're, whatever, and then you might have, you got the AFC West, which, the Chargers are looking good, the Chiefs are looking good, and the Broncos are looking good. So I mean, you never know what you're gonna get. The AFC is a lot deeper than the NFC.
Yeah, no question. Except for the NFC North, the deepest division. We'll see, though, as time goes on here, as they kind of cannibalize each other. NFC North is just going to be fun to watch, and even some of those games outside. We'll talk about it more, but I do think that Bears versus Commanders game is going to be a lot of fun because it's not just those two quarterbacks, but, if we're going through this rookie class of QBs, now that we've got a few games in, really ugly start for Williams. He's starting to figure it out. Bo Nix has been a bit of up and down. We're starting to see what Daniels looks like, but once he's getting comfortable, looking at this QB class, way too early, but ranking those guys out. Who do you like right now? If
Daniels,
you had to pick your franchise.
Daniels.
All right, I'm not going to hate on that. I mean, his stats are good.
I told you that from the jump of what the structure is. So when you say building your franchise and everything like that, the quarterback is a piece of it, but it's also who you have like in the building. So, I mean, just imagine what he would look like if he was with the coordinator with the Lions, or if he was with the coordinator, down, if he was with McVay, if he was with LaFleur, if he was with, the guy in Houston or whatnot. So, I mean, definitely the best, I think, all around that gives you a better shot with things and whatnot. I thought it was Jalen Daniels.
Who do you got number 2?
Out of this quarterback class?
Yeah, just the rookies out there right now. And it's tough because I do wonder what Michael Penix Jr. would look like in one of these situations where he's go ahead and given the keys. Because I think he'd be probably up there. I really liked him out of Washington. I thought he was going to be one of the most intriguing receivers, but I do like him learning under Kirk Cousins with Atlanta. So I'm not hating on the move either.
Honestly, it's like a 3-way toss-up because, like, I like Bo Nix too. I think he's just starting to get – you got Sean Payton. Sean Payton's offense isn't necessarily down the field type of situation. Again, you put, Bo Nix in a different situation. Put him with, the Lions OC or whatnot. I think you would see a different side of him, really airing things out. But, I mean, I like Nix. I like Caleb. And I like Penix like that. Like we haven't seen Penix that much, but I mean, what he was able to do with him being an older quarterback brings a little bit more experience. We'll see with Caleb. Caleb hasn't even gotten to play in cold games yet, so that's kind of. I'm not saying no. I would take him, at 3 or 4 or whatnot. So he's just not. He's not there quite exactly for me just yet.
Who is it? Oh wait, you got.
I would. It's between. I would go with probably Bo Nix.
Come on, that's all right. Sometimes I feel like you're here just to insult the Chicago Bears. Nothing against Bo Nix.
But look at Bo.
Okay, he's on the same progression.
You're saying that about Caleb Williams. Caleb Williams has way more help than Bo Nix, and look at what Bo Nix is doing. So I mean, what are he? You're talking about a coach who pretty much shipped off Justin Fields, and look what Justin Fields is doing. And you gave him more weapons. Is that necessarily Caleb Williams taking it to a next level, or is that just, he's in a good environment and can, grow with stuff? So he's on the downtick of things more so than Bo Nix. Bo Nix is out there willing and dealing with, you can't even name 2 receivers on the Broncos right now.
Yeah, they don't have Judy anymore. So there's your answer.
You know what I mean? So I go Nix second, and then I'll probably go Williams third.
All right, I'm not going to bash you too much because if you are, a Bo Nix Broncos fan, or you're just a fan of NFL, a lot of these QBs aren't very similar progressions. So that's why, yeah, go figure. That's why this is a really good class, the way it's shaping up right now, because a lot of these QBs didn't look great in their first debut. Bo Nix, for example, it's that ugly loss to Pittsburgh, 13-6, 0 touchdowns, 2 picks, about 57 completion rating. Next week, 0 touchdowns, 0 picks. Week 3, 1 touchdown, 0 picks. Then it's 2 touchdowns, 0 picks. And then versus the Chargers, they might be a threat this year as well. I think that's going to be a solid team. But 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. And really, that game versus the Raiders was probably his best one with 2 touchdowns, no picks, 70% completion rating. with a rating of 117. So all of these quarterbacks are on a pretty similar trend of just getting comfortable, especially this class. You got a lot of athletic QBs, and I think in the NFL, they're so used to just trusting their legs and their instincts and not sitting in the pocket for as long as they can to find their elite wide receivers. Now, for Caleb Williams, it's a bigger deal. Like, don't be scrambling. I mean, you got that kind of star-studded role behind you with Keenan Allen, DJ Moore. You can go on and on. Bo Nick's a little bit different. There's going to be times where he's going to have to go ahead and decide to pull it and make a play with his legs because, like you said, he doesn't have the studded core out there. But I'm starting to think this might be one of the best QB classes
in a long time.
Like all these guys, whether you like Daniels, whether you like Williams, even Bo Nix, and even Drake May. I don't think Drake May's looked too bad.
I mean, the sample size for May is just a little bit, too small. But I mean, he flashed. He definitely, showed a lot of good things. So it's definitely more to come. It's just you can't. He kind of gets, the short end of the stick just because there hasn't been too much game feel and when you're going against, actual team that's going against you, trying to stop you and whatnot and everything like that. So he'll probably start to climb up there. You still got, McCarthy that was out and Penix. So, I mean, we haven't even seen this full class yet. And that's the crazy part.
Yeah. And we talked about it during draft night. I think we were both really high on Michael Penix.
Yeah.
It was a big surprise that the Falcons took him. We heard Kirk Cousins' comments about it. I mean, he was shocked. He's a good teammate, though, so he's not going to go ahead and bash the organization or Penix Jr.
I mean, it's a smart move. Like, I mean,
I like
you thinking 2 steps ahead. It's like, whoa, okay, different management in there. Okay, like you can be mad about it or whatnot, but I mean, at the end of the day, that's something that you got to prepare for and everything like that.
Yeah, and they're in a situation too where their team's good enough to where, if they do decide to go ahead and get Michael Penix Jr. like that, like it's still at least team that can go out there and compete. They got good enough offense, certainly defense good enough as well. Defense definitely the weaker part of that team, but it's one where you don't have to absolutely sacrifice it for your depth to go try to find a blue chip guy. Like there's holes in it. Don't get me wrong, but they had enough wiggle room to go ahead and make that sacrifice, and especially depending on the quarterback you have, that might rub them the wrong way. Like if you're Aaron Rodgers, we saw how that went. You probably don't want to pull the trigger on it. If you're got Kirk Cousins, he's the guy you can work with. I mean, Kirk Cousins is a kind of one of those where he's not going to say anything to the media to get the hounds on you by any means. But speaking of that, we're going to keep going through these QBs. Russell Wilson might be taking over. Justin Fields getting benched here.
I think that's just a trade. Like, all right, well, let's show people he can still play. He's fine and everything like that. And I wouldn't be surprised if he's gone, by the first weekend of November. Like you got Miami that has a quarterback issue or whatnot. I mean, they're probably about the best suited. So I mean, or they might trade for Justin Fields type thing. It could go either way, but I think there's a little bit more behind that story than, we're just, rolling with Russ. I think they have something, up their sleeve. So be on the lookout for that coming.
Not a bad argument because you do got 2 capable quarterbacks, whether you want Justin Fields or Russell Wilson. I mean, Fields has brought you to a solid winning record already. Russell Wilson, he was the guy that was supposed to be starting. Obviously, but the injury didn't happen. But knowing how desperate some of these teams are, Miami being the biggest one, pretty obvious they need a QB bad. You're paying all this money to elite wide receiving core, and you don't have a guy to throw it to him. And like
Tyreek Hill has been. I mean, you haven't really even heard anything about him since the whole Tua situation. So it's they're down bad right now.
Yeah, they're real, and there's no clear option other than you better hope to get a guy like Russell Wilson.
Mm-hmm.
Or even Justin Fields. Like hell, Justin Fields down there. He's not gonna be able to sling the rock.
You seen Cleveland make some splashes. They traded away Amari Cooper. I mean, the Bills get Coop, which I think that'll now the Bills can kind of scare you. Like now they might be a legitimate, like, okay, they got somebody that can get it done. Of course, they've been able to win with not top of the cream of the crop, top receivers or whatnot. and still being able to do that. You got, Amari Cooper in there who's still, in his prime or whatnot. Be on the lookout for them. But, Cleveland, they could potentially move on from Deshaun. Like I said, Deshaun to Miami, that's appetizing. He's athletic.
He looks that way better, at least, right? Like, I know he's looked awful.
We've seen McDaniels. We've seen that coach down there reshape Tua, give Tua confidence and everything like that, and use him, and they spread the ball out a lot. So just imagine if you get honestly a better athletic, quarterback down there with Deshaun. I think that could potentially, save his career type thing. So it'll be very interesting to see how they move forward with things.
Yeah, and I want to talk about the what the Browns got out of it, because it does look like they're just go ahead punting on the season. So they get a 2025 6th round draft pick, 2025 3rd round pick, and a 7th round selection 2026. Feel like they got a fair deal for getting rid of Cooper,
which he wasn't the problem. Like he
was.
I mean, he dropped a few here and there or whatnot, but I mean, you got to at least give the man a chance. Like he wasn't even getting a chance.
Who do you think won the trade then?
Buffalo, easily.
Yeah.
For that, what?
Yeah.
And
not bad at all.
You can get. I mean, at one point in time, Amari Cooper was probably one of the highest receivers after he, left, or once, Dallas traded him away. He broke, I think, $100 million first, if I'm not mistaken. So I mean, and it's not that he's fallen off. It's just the production isn't there, just because inconsistent QB play.
Yeah, we're gonna wait and see here, but yeah, I mean, clearly, it depends what they get in the future here. But again, you're looking at best of the 2025 3rd round pick, 6th, 7th round. You do good scouting. Hopefully you land a big one, but you did just get one of the best wide receivers. So you got 3 chances. You better find a stud, or at least a group of solid starters throughout the league. Or, I mean, get rid of wide receiver like that. It just kind of shows the drastic situation the Browns are in.
So which franchise is in which franchise is more on the hot seat, Cleveland or the Jets?
I mean, I think it's got to be Cleveland, right? Just because of what they had and how they essentially pissed it away.
Grass ain't always greener, huh?
Exactly. And if you're the Jets, it's like, yeah, I mean, you're upset right now, you're struggling, but how much has really changed? Like, you didn't ever solve it. Now you look at the Browns, like they had an answer and they literally got rid of it.
Yeah.
Like, if you're a Browns fan, that's all anybody talks about. I heard an audio bite. It was a Cleveland local sports radio. The first caller talked about the Baker Mayfield situation, and the radio guy lost his damn mind because they are so tired of hearing it, because they know it's true. You don't have to be a genius to figure out how horrible of an idea that was to get rid of him and insert Watson, even with all the legal stuff going around. Like, sports media in Cleveland is so sick of it because of how obviously bad of a decision it was. It's just been an interesting week. You also had Jerry Jones threatening to fire a guy. some Dallas Cowboys radio. I mean, I don't know if you caught that soundbite, but
I heard it. Jerry was on one, and
well, let's save that then. I want to play that for the audience since we're live on the brick and mortar, because this Cowboys situation is kind of it looks awful. CeeDee Lamb, maybe is he being a drama queen, or is he just upset with a bad situation? Dak Prescott. I hate bashing on him because there's been a ton of awful things just outside of the football field that have really probably just been horrible to go through, on top of being in a fan base that is going to criticize you
for everything.
Exactly. And I never thought I'd be a Dak Prescott defender, but he's not the entire problem with that franchise.
No.
You can say it is, but they get bullied, all right? On the line of scrimmage, that team gets flat out bullied.
That game was not pretty at all. Like I said, they're going to have to look in the mirror and address some things and get some things done, because that is not it.
Absolutely not. But with that being said, we're going to throw it to break here, and I do want to go ahead and grab that audio from Jerry Jones just to give the listeners, before we talk about it, like, I've never seen an owner go that far out of their way to make themselves look like not a great guy. Like, you could have definitely done that off air, like, hey, don't appreciate those type of questions, even though the questions were I thought totally fair game.
Fair.
It was anything crazy.
It's
It's
not
just,
anything
why
that
did you make moves you did?
It's not anything that you haven't heard or are going to hear, for this whole week. So, I mean, control yourself.
Exactly, right? I mean, if anything, that's like, here's some local fan base audio to go ahead and help yourself get ready. And yeah, we're going to listen to it. But the questions were not, hey, why did you make this horrible decision in the offseason? It was just, why did you make X decision? So again, we're going to listen to that audio, but not a great look for Jerry Jones after the tough loss on his 82nd birthday where the Detroit Lions just bullied them. A lot of people called it out early. I don't know if anybody thought it'd be truly that bad. So don't go anywhere. We're going to get the Jerry Jones audio on some local Dallas Cowboys radio up next on the Dump Punt Hour, 93.7 The Ticket.
Tailored Life is your headquarters for all things fall in Bennett. Make the short drive down Highway 2 for tons of items for your home, both indoors and outdoors. Check out their variety of potted trees, mums, and more. Plus, porch pots and landscape lighting to enhance the outside of your home. Don't forget their home goods for indoors, plus convenient drinks and snacks, most of which are produced locally. Visit Tailored Life today in Bennett and stay tuned to their Facebook page at Tailored Life 360 for food truck events coming up.
Empower a child today with the Teammates Mentoring Program. Hope is only a conversation away when you choose to share your talent, time, and heart with a child. Together, you can build a relationship based on strengths and chart a brighter future, 1 week at a time. Find out how you can be a mentor by visiting LincolnTeammates.org. Become what you needed as a kid by joining the Teammates Mentoring Program today.
Are you worried about storm damage causing issues with your basement? F Foundation Repair fixes basements with supreme waterproofing and exact concrete leveling for residential or commercial clients. They service wet basements, leaky walls, damp crawl spaces, bowing or cracked bricks or drywall, and more. Whether you're in Southeast Nebraska, the Tri-Cities area, or Northeast Kansas, they'll easily make the trip to you. Get a free evaluation today by visiting WeFixBasements.com or call 402-804-1024. F Foundation Repair. We fix basements.
What a day. I could sure use an afternoon pick-me-up. Hold up. The new 93.7 The Ticket location has a milk, coffee, and tea inside? Oh, yeah. This is a game changer.
Need an afternoon pick-me-up? How about a coffee or smoothie on your way to work? Stop by the Ticket Mill location on 1040 O Street to get your go-to drink or try out our new game day drinks exclusive to the Ticket Mill location. We know it'll make your day a million times better.
Davis Plumbing has been in business for over 15 years and is currently searching for journeyman plumbers to join their team. Experience is preferred, but not required for all applicants. When you join the team at Davis Plumbing, you'll receive full benefits package with paid time off. Join a small local business doing big things in Lincoln and surrounding areas. Apply today by calling 402-525-6922 or find them on social media. Davis Plumbing, locally owned and operated for over 15 years.
If you're in Seward or Milford, listen up. Select Plumbing is now servicing your area with no trip charges from Lincoln. Select Plumbing works on a variety of issues for your home and business, including general plumbing, water heaters, faucet and fixture repair, underground sewer and water repairs, backflow testing, and more. Keep your property free from leaks and other issues. Call today for a free estimate, 402-560-6197. It's not just Lincoln, Waverly, and the surrounding area anymore. It's also Seward and Milford with no trip charges. Contact Select Plumbing to inquire at 402-560-6197.
Have you been injured in an accident and don't know where to turn? Do you need a lawyer you can trust to handle your case with professionalism and compassion? The attorneys at Liberty Law Group understand that a call to an attorney is a call for help. If you've been injured, we want to help you. Liberty Law's experienced attorneys are committed to the pursuit of justice for those injured. Contact us for a free consultation by calling 877-42-LIBERTY. Call Liberty Law and find out how we can help you get the compensation you deserve. Call 877-42-LIBERTY. Liberty Law Group, trial attorneys you can trust.
It's the fall sports season, and that means that the school year is back in session and you're planning road trips for Nebraska football games and following your kids around to their different events. Stop telling yourself you'll upgrade your car someday and do it now. Mullen Motors Lot is full of great vehicles to take home so you don't have to worry about your current car struggling through another season. Come check out their lot just north of 48th and Lake and find your next ride. As your fall schedule gets busy, you'll need a reliable way to get to your destinations. Mullen Motors.
No taglines, just quality vehicles. Mullen Motors.
If you're not advertising your business on your vehicle, you're missing out on a lot of potential clients, and it's time to change that. Automotive Solutions paints, excels, and vinyl wraps, and company IDs. They offer BG services with free warranties available, and they service all cars and diesel trucks too. They also service fleets, and if you push snow in the winter, get ahead now with your vehicles. Don't forget, ticket listeners receive a service discount on preventative maintenance. Call Automotive Solutions for an appointment at 531-249-5600 and stop by at 2040 Southwest 5th Street in Lincoln.
General Fire and Safety has been keeping Lincoln businesses and commercial structures safe for more than 50 years. From a simple fire extinguisher to full fire suppression systems, Lincoln has trusted General Fire and Safety to provide top-of-the-line products, installation, and maintenance. If you're starting a new business in a brand new building, call on General Fire and Safety to help you plan a fire safety system that fits the specific needs of your business, employees, and customers. Call General Fire and Safety today at 402-261-0116.
The captain, Vershawn Jackson.
The spitting incident.
Oh, the spitting incident.
How bad was that? And do he deserve to miss more games?
I think it's despicable to spit on another human being.
Lucky this guy had a shield on his face. What happened? The guy from Oregon, the receiver.
Yeah, receiver.
Spit in the guy's face from Ohio State. Why did he do that?
Man, you don't spit on a guy.
Back and forth.
You don't spit on a guy. I would never do that again. I said again.
I was going to ask you about that from one spitter to another spitter. But,
no, come on, guys. Listen, guys.
Years ago.
27 years ago,
Yeah.
guys. Don't hold that against me.
Vershawn Jackson here for Bauer Infrastructure, a veteran-owned local company proudly serving Lincoln, Lancaster County, and the surrounding areas. Bauer provides quality work at an affordable price, and they're growing rapidly. If you want to experience a career with a fast-paced, family-friendly environment, visit BauerInfrastructure.com. They have top-of-the-line benefits, year-round work, even through the winter. Bauer, usher in the new era of infrastructure to an area near you. And as always, go Big Red.
Finally, a good reason to have a smart house. Just say, Alexa, play 93.7 The Ticket, and we'll magically start playing. How's it work? Nobody knows. Don't ask questions.
I get it, slip it, cuff it, check it twice a day.
I get it, slip it, cuff it, check it in the morning and before dinner.
I get it, slip it, cuff it, check it, and share it with my doctor. Nearly 1 in 2 U.S. adults have high blood pressure. That's why it's important to self-monitor your blood pressure in 4 easy-to-remember steps. It starts with a monitor.
Now that I know my blood pressure numbers, I talked with my doctor. We're getting those numbers down.
Get it, slip it, cuff it, check it. Talk to doctor now and share it.
Be next to talk to your doctor about your blood pressure numbers. Get down with your blood pressure. Self-monitoring is power. Learn more at manageyourbp.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council, the American Heart Association, and the American Medical Association, in partnership with the Office of Minority Health and Health Resources and Services Administration.
Our Nebraska public school teachers make a difference in our communities. I'm Tim Royers, president of the Nebraska State Education Association. I see it every day. Teachers connecting on a personal level with students and parents to support learning and growth. Our kids do better, community pride grows, Nebraska thrives. Our public schools rank in the top 10 nationally year after year. Strong public schools create strong communities.
Sponsored by the Nebraska State Education Association, aired by the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
This is the Don't Punt Hour on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Here is your host, DeMornay Pierson-El.
All right, welcome in. Don't Punt Hour. Good morning, Pierson-El, the former Husker, streaming in. If you guys want to join in, 402-464-5685 is the Starter Heyman text line. You can put a face to the voice, Facebook, YouTube, X, Allo, Channel 961. And if you got Allo Cable, Allo Channel 961, like I said. So without further ado, good morning, Pierson-El. I'll bring you back in here. We talked about it on the end, and I want to give the audience the audio in case they haven't heard it. And I do want to give credit as well to 105.3 The Fan. That is the radio station that got the interview. And essentially, to give you some context, it was basically asking questions. This is paraphrasing here, but why did they not make more moves in the offseason? And I didn't think it was asked rudely. I didn't think it was asked in an improper way. Here's Jerry Jones' answer to that question, and he kind of just tries to hop in there right away and squash it. But essentially, the question Why didn't you make more moves in the offseason? This is how Jerry Jones took it.
This is not your job. Your job isn't to let me go over all the reasons that I did something and I'm sorry that I did it. That's not your job.
Well, my job is to ask why.
Job, or I'll get somebody else to ask these questions, man.
Jerry, we're trying to figure out why the team is.
I'm not kidding. I'm not kidding you. You're not going to figure out what the team is doing right or wrong.
So there you go. He threatens to fire the guy right there live on air.
Why he don't say that to the NFL media? Why he don't do that to nobody else?
Because he feels he's got the power over him. That's the way I take it. He knows he can bully him. He's like, I'm great gifting you with this interview. I mean, it's ironic, right? Because he's trying to squash the whole thing, not let the negative media get to him. And by doing that, now people in Lincoln, Nebraska are bringing up 105.3 The Fan and playing the audio.
Across the world, not just in Nebraska. Like, I mean, that was on First Take early this morning and whatnot. I mean, I understand you could be frustrated or whatnot, but I mean, that man has a job too, just like you got a job. He wasn't questioning you. He was asking simple questions, tough, irritating, maybe annoying questions that all media are going to ask.
I thought that was fair, right? Like, I didn't even think it was an unfair question.
No.
Like, that's like they didn't make any moves in the offseason. They tried to reload it. Well, not even reloading. I mean, they reloaded it with less bullets, essentially. They got way less. They didn't really add anything.
They had the rubber. They reloaded with the rubber bullets. It wasn't the hollow tips.
So the question is, why didn't you want to make more moves? Maybe there's a good reason.
Jerry, him saying, "Oh, well, we didn't have the money." If I'm not mistaken, he might be one of the more wealthy or richer, owners in the league. So for him to even say that, I was like, "All right, Jerry, like, are you?" I'm not saying you hurting for money, but you can go in a closet somewhere and pull out the money that you would need or anything like that. So I'm not. That's a question that I guess that's been irritating him for since the beginning of the season or preseason or training camp. I mean, you're gonna have to answer it. I mean, and people aren't just taking the BS answer that you're kind of just nulling over and whatnot.
Yeah, and just to give you an idea of how much money the Cowboys have. Like, if there's a franchise to say we don't have the money, the Cowboys are probably the last one you'd pick.
Easily.
Because it is, whether you like it or not, America's team. Cowboys fans are everywhere. I get to sit next to Pete Ferguson every Sunday. Every Sunday, he's repping the Cowboys. I mean, they're everywhere. Across the country, there's Cowboys fans. 2023, the revenue for 2023 season was about $1.2 billion, making them the highest grossing team in the NFL. Now, again, just revenue. Operating income, you still made about $564 million, a $60 million increase from the previous season.
So where's the money going to, or somebody fluffing the numbers? It's crazy. You thought situations was going to be different or whatnot, and you not having a dominant running back or a cowbell running back to help sustain the offense is literally hurting you.
And you didn't want one. You didn't want to make a move. Why?
You didn't want to pay people money because the running back market was absolutely terrible. Well, why don't you go ask your cross-town, cross-division rivals? They made a splash with Saquon, and you can best bet they've already gotten their dollars worth because of what he's able to do and what he brings, regardless of the market this, the market that. No, let's be real. You didn't want to pay that much money for a running back, just like everybody else didn't want to pay that much for a running back. That's just what it was. And, you suffer the consequences of it.
And that's what makes no sense, because it's not like this year, too.
Just say it. I was wrong on that one. Our method or plan of attack, we misstepped. That's on us. I take full responsibility. We'll address that this offseason. Cool. Then the people aren't going to be continues asking you over and over and over and over again. Every week, people are going to be asking that question. When if you just come out of it, I messed up. Yeah, we know, Jerry. We just wanted you to say that. this was probably not the best decision that we made. It was smart. Whatever, get it out there. Yeah. Move on to the next thing. You either draft somebody or bring in a free agent. You bring in a high signing free agent that's going to be in the market next year and move on.
And that's the part that I don't understand at all. It's like you could just get out in front of this. Like everybody already knows you definitely made a mistake somewhere. Otherwise, you wouldn't be in the situation you're in with a team that just got destroyed by the Lions. So get in front of it. Otherwise, you're going to keep getting asked. And if you do answer it, you might get asked again, but at least be consistent with the answer. Again, I just thought I've never seen like that much of a rage for such a simple question. Like, yeah, you might be annoyed by it, but it wasn't egregious.
It didn't deserve the reaction that he got.
No. And I makes sense for Jerry Jones. Like, right, he just got demoralized by the Detroit Lions on his birthday. Not what he wants to see at all, but you can tell it's wearing on him a little bit. Being this much of a public figure for the Cowboys, constantly being in the media, like his patience is running thin, which leads me to my next question is, what's the patience looking like for McCarthy?
I think he's done after this year.
I think so too. It might even be.
I mean, Jerry, we all know Jerry. Jerry will reward the people he wants to reward, regardless of whatever the situation is. You can say what you want to say about Dak. At the end of the day, the deal for Dak got done. So people can say, oh, it's Dak, this and this and this and that. Jerry rewarded him, not once, twice for the second time. You can say what you wanted to say about, CD. It took longer than maybe it wasn't on Jerry terms, but he still got rewarded of whatever he wanted. So instead of Jerry saying, me, or relinquishes stuff, we're just not going to re-sign you. Like, that's a lot easier, and that's not money out of his pocket for firing you. That's just if you do bad and everything like that, ride the season out. At the end of the season, they don't owe you any more money. That's just what it's going to be, unless they go to the NFC Championship, which I don't see that at all. So I would be a little shocked if he is retained or signs another multiple year contract. And nothing against him. Like it's not that it's him. Like, it's the organization that you work with. That's just what it is.
Yeah. I mean, he's put great seasons together. Whether you think he should be winning it all or not, like he hasn't been leading that franchise into horrible years where there's nothing to root for. I mean, last year was really a big opportunity. But you give credit to the Packers for finding a way to upset you there. But at the same time, you can be upset with those small things. I think the right move is to actually be patient with him and just give him weapons and don't try to reload with rubber bullets, like you said. Like, no, if you're losing ammunition, you got to get some real ammunition back. If you have why you think it'd go better, makes zero sense to me. Because it can be a scapegoat.
It's if you get rid of a puppet, and I'm just saying, speculation. I'm not saying that he is or whatnot. Who's to say one of these other hot offensive coordinators or defensive coordinators is going to come in there when they know what the situation is? People talk in the NFL. It's a small, tight-knit group. Somebody knows somebody. Hey, I got a friend. I know somebody, this and that. Hey, what's the real deal over there? Like, is this something I want to get into? No. All right, cool. Thank you. Well, no, I'm good. I'm gonna stay where I'm at and move on, because nobody wants to. That'll be the coach won't necessarily. I mean, Jerry won't really get that blemish. He is who he is. The coach will have to live with that and have to answer questions on that and whatnot. So, I mean, it's going to be hard getting, the hottest coach. When the Rams fired their old coach and brought in McVay, or LaFleur being in there and whatnot, it's not going to be one of those type of coaches that you're going to hire that's going to change everything, because Jerry is meddling in everything. He runs everything. He controls everything. And I mean, y'all win. Y'all a different team during the season. Come playoffs, I mean, the Cowboys aren't the Cowboys.
Yeah, and
are they the actual Cowboys, the new age Cowboys?
Hey, maybe it's that part. Maybe it's just the new age Cowboys. Like, it could be. Especially like it's like two sides of the coin here. You can be a coach like the Cowboys, man. Like, what an opportunity! It's kind of like the Lakers, where what an opportunity. Spotlight's on you, but at the same time, In the Lakers, it's like ownership that's just not involved enough. That just kind of feels like they're listening too much to like what the voices are around them instead of just picking a direction. With the Cowboys, it's like way too much micromanaging, like pull back a little bit, trust the guys you hire, but both massive spotlights, both the biggest spotlight in their prospective pro sport. But one's just got lackluster ownership and not really knowing what they're doing. The other one's got still not really knowing what they're doing, but kind of just overbearing.
Just missing points. I mean, he hits on some things, but at some point in time, things change over time. You got to go about different ways, or be open to other ideas. Not to say that all of his ideas aren't terrible or whatnot, but I mean, y'all are a team, y'all are an organization. Not to say that he doesn't work with anybody and everybody, but it's a reason he's the only owner / GM.
Yeah, I mean, seriously. And it does, he puts himself in a weird spot because we don't always know all the details of how much he's involved. So again, it's like, how much blame is he taking is true? How much blame, maybe not enough being given? Like he never gives a clear answer to like how much say he has in these decisions, but we know he's certainly involved in pulling a lot of these strings just for how passionate he's been about it and for how open he is to the media. Sometimes too open, threatening to fire local radio hosts. So don't go anywhere. One more team I wanted to talk about is Pittsburgh Steelers. Are we getting to a point where the Steelers maybe need to let go of the defensive identity, do something similar to what the Bears did and say, we're going to spend more money on the offense, not the defense? We'll talk about that next. Don't go anywhere. Dump Punt Hour with DeMornay Pierson-El.
Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, we're looking for talented individuals like you. Apply today at sandhills.jobs and take the first step towards an exciting future. That's sandhills.jobs. Don't wait. Apply now.
If you're not advertising your business on your vehicle, you're missing out on a lot of potential clients, and it's time to change that. Automotive Solutions excels in vinyl wraps and company IDs. They offer BG services with free warranties available, and they service all cars and diesel trucks too. They also service fleets, and if you push snow in the winter, get ahead now with your vehicles. Don't forget, ticket listeners receive a service discount on preventative maintenance. Call Automotive Solutions for an appointment at 531-249-5600 and stop by at 2040 Southwest 5th Street in Lincoln.
NEBCO is hiring CDL drivers for ready-mixed concrete, Husker Concrete, and Beatrice Concrete. NEBCO offers great pay, medical and retirement benefits, paid time off, and they pay for CDL training. Apply today and start your new career with a $2,500 hiring bonus. From NEBCO's beginning in 1908, it's the employees that have formed the company's solid foundation. Start your career today. Visit nebcoinc.com. That's NEBCOINC.com.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
The Lincoln forecast for today, we'll see lots of sunshine and it will be breezy and cool with an afternoon high around 56. Tonight, clear skies and it will be cold, the low around 29. And tomorrow, frost likely in the morning and sunny and breezy for today. We'll see a high around 64. I'm meteorologist Kyle Becker from 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Koppel Chevrolet GMC, and we want to thank all of our customers for a great September. And now it's time for our annual Halloween sales event happening right now at Koppel. Get 0% financing at Koppel. You heard right, 0% financing on select new models. Also, huge discounts up to $11,500 are available. It's our annual Halloween sales event. Get $11,500 off or 0% financing at Koppel. So please stop on by or check us out online at koppelcars.com. You'll be glad you did 0% with roof credit.
On game day, every play counts. Now imagine having the same level of control in your field. Valley is where farming meets end zone efficiency. With AgSense remote irrigation technology, farmers become the MVPs of their fields. Real-time play-by-play control means you're always ahead of the game. Score big with simplified irrigation technology from Valley, improving your life both on and off the field. Find your local Valley dealer at valleyirrigation.com.
Tailored Life is your headquarters for all things fall in Bennett. Make the short drive down Highway 2 for tons of items for your home, both indoors and outdoors. Check out their variety of potted trees, mums, and more, plus porch pots and landscape lighting to enhance the outside of your home. Don't forget their home goods for indoors, plus convenient drinks and snacks, most of which are produced locally. Visit Tailored Life today in Bennett and stay tuned to their Facebook page at Tailored Life 360 for food truck events coming up.
Davis Plumbing has been in business for over 15 years and is currently searching for journeyman plumbers to join their team. Experience is preferred, but not required for all applicants. When you join the team at Davis Plumbing, you'll receive full benefits package with paid time off. Join a small local business doing big things in Lincoln and surrounding areas. Apply today by calling 402-525-6922 or find them on social media. Davis Plumbing, locally owned and operated for over 15 years.
If you're a homeowner or a business owner, you have a lot of projects, and no one has an unlimited budget or time. Sunbelt Rentals makes all jobs less stressful with no need to purchase large equipment or hire a crew. You can do it yourself with rentals and everything from aerators and power rakes for spring yard work to stump grinders, concrete mixers, tile saws, and more. Check out their inventory in Lincoln, north of Cornhusker Highway on 56th Street, or online at sunbeltrentals.com.
Early break. Anthony in the mailbag says, good morning, guys. Question for the mailbag. If you were trapped in a 10 foot by 10 foot concrete room with one animal, what is the largest animal you could kill with nothing but your bare hands?
I'd like to think I could whip an ostrich.
Get a hold of his neck. He's going to whip him around. He's going to whip him around. Early break from 6 to 8 every weekday morning on 93.7 The Ticket. In every office, there's two types of people. There are those who bring in bagels and those who eat the bagels that someone else brought in. Everybody likes the first person. Be that first person. Weekday mornings at 7:30, you have a chance to win a business box of bagels from Bagels & Joe. All you have to do is shut up, Sipple. 2 questions for you, 2 for Sip. Win, and the bagels are yours. Lose, well, you don't want to lose.
You lost Monday, you lost Wednesday, you're a loser.
Shut up, Sipple. Weekday mornings at 7:30, brought to you by Bagels & Joe. This is the Don't Punt Hour on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Here is your host, Damorne Pierson-El.
All right, welcome back in. Don't Punt Hour. Damorne Pierson-El streaming in. Harrison Arns on the ones and twos. 402-464-5685. If you want to join in, we got Kyle Perry uncut up next, the former Husker pitcher. All right, let's talk salary cap here, because we have seen the league start shifting this way, at least in terms of teams who have had the most success. At the same time, these teams that spend a lot of money on offense also have some of the worst seasons, because when the offense isn't working that you spent all the money on, and you have a defense that's just mediocre to bad, turn into a nightmarish type of season. But looking at the Pittsburgh Steelers this year, and not just this year, historically, it about always looks somewhat of this kind of spread. Offense for the 2024 season, they're spending about $74 million. And on the defensive side, they're spending $137 million, roughly. And then if you look at a team like the Chicago Bears, who very much like the Pittsburgh Steelers, always had a very similar spread, they're now about even, 115, 116 from offense to defense. And then you look at a team like the Chiefs, who have been dominant, $155 million on offense and only $75 million on defense. Damorne Pierson-El, is the direction of the NFL heading to let's just pay the offense a bunch of money and then roughly do what we can with about 75, maybe up to 100 million on defense to make it work?
Yeah, most definitely. I think, obviously, excitement, offense gets people in the seats, gets people to, want to see stuff and everything like that. So definitely, yeah, it's trending that way. But I don't think defense is a lost cause or anything like that. You have your defensive players that, are climbing up the ladders. I think it's just taking longer for the defensive guys' numbers to really get up there, like the offensive side, the offensive side counterparts.
Yeah, and that's also part of it, true, right? Some of just the market value of these guys deciding a lot of this.
From a defensive standpoint, you're not gonna pay Patrick Mahomes money to certain type of people on the defense. Who's gonna get that? Where that wouldn't be logical. Now you can set the record at certain positions. Aaron Donald, T.J. Watt. Who else is coming up on the defensive side? Deron Payne.
No, I think Bosa just got
Deron Payne. Big Bosa got a good payday and whatnot. So you got some players. Fred, he's about to break the bank for a contract.
Greenlaw too. He'll be good for the 49ers. He'll get a nice bag.
So certain players will get the highest at their position, but record breaking $100 million linebacker, $100 million corner, that might take some time. I think that the defense is, like I said, they're starting to catch up to the offense. But I mean, by the time they catch up to the offense is going to be in another atmosphere than what they were in. That'd be like, that's the old update. That's the iPhone X. We on, iPhone 16. you know what I mean? So, but that's just kind of the nature of the game with offense being exciting, offense, selling more. If you look at jersey sales, what side of the ball, sells more, offensive guys or defensive guys? Offensive guys. If you look at commercials and whatnot, who are on commercial? Offensive guys or defensive guys? Offensive guys. So, I mean, it's just, a branding thing. That's just kind of like what it is. Not to say that some defensive guys, don't have their stuff. Some of them do, but I mean,
like if you're a Watt or, in my case, like a Brian Urlacher, especially since the Bears had no offense, like they're going to be the bread bringers, but it's very rare, to your point.
Exactly. So, I mean, outside of Donald, who can you say on the defensive side that, really has commercials to where you see people and whatnot? It ain't Jalen. I mean, I don't think I remember any, commercials outside of when he was in his prime with Jacksonville with the Jordan commercials and everything. Like that's different. I'm talking about, your Campbells, your State Farm, the Play 60. You don't even see the Play 60 commercials anymore, which is crazy because you had a different variety of athletes that can, do certain things. So I'm not to say that the offensive side is more marketable. It's not that it's that they're just more known. They push that, in your face or whatnot. So that's what people gravitate to. And that's just kind of the nature of the beast and what it is.
Yeah, and that's the media, right? If you're a big time guy, big time sack getter like a Aiden Hutchinson, who unfortunately took that injury, like you're gonna get talked about a lot. But if you're playing, in the middle at nose guard, like just for some reason, you're not gonna get a lot of. But I will say this to wrap things up here on Dump Bunt Hour. Like even if you're paying the offense more, which the Steelers, for everything we just said, they still always find a way to pay that defense more. It doesn't mean you're gonna. We got to go ahead and say real quick here before we get out of here.
Well, the Steelers traded all their top guys on offense. They've been doing that for a year. So it's not to say that they don't have it. Is they let guys go.
Yeah, but they're still paying a solid $137 million. It's still higher than you're going to see out of most of these teams. But the thing that I want to wrap it up with, even if you start paying the offense more, it does not mean that you're going to lose your idea of being a physical team. Because if you go look at the Detroit Lions, who I think most people would say is the most physical team, they pay the offense more. And still, that is a team that is known to be physical, mean, brutal, tough place to play. So, I wonder if it's time for the Steelers. Right time, right? Like right now, it's not going to make sense to pay that offense a ton of money unless is it Wilson or is it Fields? Like, what do you guys want to do? But you're not going to lose the identity of being a tough squad if you handle it right. So that's going to wrap it up for us. Shout out DPE on time as always. Cal Perry, former Husker pitcher, up next. Don't go anywhere. Right here on Take a Weeknights.